Hello, people of the world. I'm Paul Beckwith. I'm sorry to tell you that you've been sold a bill of goods, basically. For years, mainstream media has focused on terrorism and what's going on in movie stars' lives and, reality TV shows and things. I could go on and on. Meanwhile, abrupt climate change has been accelerating rapidly, and the consequences now of abrupt climate change just cannot be ignored. What if I told you that there was a terrorist called Maria about to come along and totally take out an island, Dominica, 70,000 people, mountainous region. Right? Big terrorist. It's going to rip buildings apart. It's going to shred the complete island with 160 plus mile-an-hour winds. What do you think some of the strongest buildings on Dominica might be? Perhaps the hospital? Perhaps the residence of the Prime Minister? Well, those buildings have been trashed. Those roofs have been removed. Unfortunately, I think with this island, there's going to be enormous numbers of casualties. This Hurricane Maria didn't even exist a couple days ago. 15 hours ago, this was a Category 1 hurricane, the lowest in the category scale. 15 hours later, Category 5, 160 mile-an-hour winds. Okay, so the acceleration from not existing to the largest scale storm, it didn't set records. Wilma took 12 hours in 2005, but it's close to the record, and we have a direct hit on Dominica. The ocean water is so warm, you just need 80 degrees Fahrenheit and you get amplification of the storm. That's 26.5 degrees Celsius. We're talking about sea surface temperatures that are much, much hotter than that. If I just come down here, this is a great site, Hurricane Weather Research and Forecast System. Just Google it, HWRF. If I go down here to ocean, large-scale sea surface temperatures, okay, you can see the temperatures of the water here in this region. Okay, anything, so 26.5 is this color. Any orange and up, the hurricane is going to gain strength. We're up here in the red levels. Over here even is the purple levels. So this hurricane, although it's going to lose a bit of strength over the island, it's going to accelerate. And it's heading for Puerto Rico next, along with a whole bunch of other islands. If you look at the storm scale, sea surface temperature, here's where we are. We're hitting into some of the light purple regions here, which are pushing 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, I said 26.5. Anything above that, the storm is going to be gaining strength. Okay, this is just showing the eye. It's about 12 miles across here, going over Dominica. Okay, I showed you the clip. This is the island here. Okay, so the capital, Roseau here. It's coming right across here. It's moving about 8 miles an hour, call it 10 miles an hour this way. So in the right eye wall up here, you need to add the rotation velocity of 160 plus miles an hour to the 10 miles an hour. It'd be about 170 here and about 150 miles an hour here. There's going to be lots of storm surge over here as well. So, because it's high elevation, we're up to 2,000 to 5,000 feet is this shading here. That's going to take some strength out of the storm, break up the eye, but that'll quickly reform because it's coming over here. Why are these hurricanes all taking the same path? The jet stream has a ridge coming down, and it's basically acting as a wall, and it's guiding these storms. Hopefully, by the time this storm gets closer to the U.S., that there's still a gap in the ridge, and this storm can veer up to the right. Otherwise, it's going to come ashore on the U.S. It could interfere with Hurricane Jose, which is meandering around and expected to turn right, and it's bringing heavy surf to the coast of the U.S., but it shouldn't have a landfall there unless things change. The best way to get information on this storm on social media is to have a Twitter account. If you don't have a Twitter account, set one up, okay? You don't have to follow people, you don't have to do anything. You're just using it to get real-time information on the storm. So what I've got here is, if you go, open up your account, put in the search for hashtag, and then put in a name. Put in the island name, okay? Dominica, and then go latest, and you're getting updated information here. Okay, as people, send out tweets and have that hashtag, you're seeing that stuff here. Okay, so you're getting real-time information here, basically. Videos that people post of roofs flying up, etc., etc. There was a tropical storm in 2000, and I believe it was there was a tropical storm that hit Dominica. Don't remember what year it was. Killed 40 people. The Prime Minister of the island said it would set the island back a decade in development. Okay, now we're talking about a Category 5, the highest category, hitting this island. Imagine the destruction that's coming on there. Like I say, we're in abrupt climate change. We're in a time of consequences, severe consequences. So this island and Barbuda and other islands that have been hit, lots of people in Florida on Key West, lots of people in Houston. These people are all collateral damage from climate change. Let's get real about this. I mean, we have a government in the U.S. that is denying climate change. I mean, this is criminal. This is pathetic. They've been firing scientists left, right, and center. They've been slashing discussions on NOAA websites and the Environmental Protection Agency website. You can't talk about climate change. Get those criminals out, because people are dying around the world from the effects of climate change. It's only getting a lot worse. This is not a new normal. Okay, also stop that phrase. We're going through an abrupt transition, an abrupt change in our climate system. There's nothing normal about where we are. This is not a new normal. We're only scratching the surface of the extreme weather events that we're going to see. Okay, we're scratching the surface. This is the tip of the iceberg. It's going to get a lot worse, and it's going to get a lot worse very, very quickly. And it's about time to get your head around that and to look at what we have to do in order to address this issue. Governments around the world spend $5 trillion to subsidize fossil fuel companies to continue pumping greenhouse gases up into the atmosphere, to change the chemistry of the atmosphere and oceans and threaten all life on this planet. Which part of that don't you understand? Right? So, okay, so Dominica. You can see up-to-date information here. If you do a refresh, okay, you can get all of the latest stuff here. Direct hit, and so on. Here we go. Here's a storm coming right through. Okay. This hashtag here. Okay, let's cut this. Okay, so this hashtag, gotta go back. Okay, here we go. If I do Maria, okay, and click the latest. Okay, then I get all the updates on this particular storm, or I can also have a look at look at Hurricane Maria, okay, Hurricane Maria, and look at that hashtag, you know, and just update these things. So you can follow these and you can get all of the latest stuff on what's going on. You get tweets from the Prime Minister, you get information from people that are filming videos of their roofs flying off and stuff like that. And so there's all kinds of stuff here, you know, so follow it on Twitter. A friend of mine on Facebook sent me this image here. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, so this is a microwave image showing how Maria intensified. So the time is here and the maximum velocity of the storm is here. So it starts 75 knots or so, and time is going here, and you can see how quickly this storm is intensifying. Okay, it's focused on the eye, so it looks like the islands are moving, but of course it's just centered on the eye, and you can see the growth of the eye wall. You can see how things are happening there. Okay, of course the National Hurricane Center, loads of information, and it shows the track here. So Hurricane Maria here, if I do the warning cones, click on here, okay, it shows you what's happening. It shows you what the storm is projected to do. The cone of uncertainty. Of course, there's a ridge here which is keeping it down. If the ridge opens up, the storm can come up. If Hurricane Jose stays there, it will break up the ridge and allow a pathway for Maria to come up. If the ridge forms over here, again, then this storm can come straight up into the U.S. It's not the likely case right now, but it is possible. Okay, I showed you this site here with the tracks and intensities and so on. There's all kinds of information that you can get here, sea surface temperature, etc., etc. This is showing wind shear. If there's wind shear, then there's wind variation with altitude. If there's lots of wind shear, like in the red areas, that will break up the storm and weaken it. Unfortunately, we're in the green areas here, so the wind shear is very small, so that allowed the storm to develop so quickly. The seawater is warm, the convection is giving energy to the storm, it's deep down below, not just at the surface. This is why all these hurricanes are so deadly this year. 93% of the heat from global warming goes into heating the oceans. What do we expect to happen? The guidance of the storms is different because of the jet streams changing. What do we expect to happen? We're seeing all of these consequences here. This is another site where you can get all kinds of different loops and look at water vapor and whatever else you want with Maria. Okay, you can see the images. Okay, there's all kinds of data here. So this is just ssd.noaa.gov. Okay, you can Google that. This is a Guardian article, which is sort of a live feed here. And it's you can just refresh it here. Okay, and it's versions, you can follow what's going on with the storm. Okay, this is the first Category 5 that's hit Dominica. The buildings in Dominica are not built to withstand this type of hurricane. In 1979, David was a Category 4, 56 people died, 3/4 of the population were left homeless. This is a much bigger storm than that. The number of fatalities is going to be huge. The island's going to be, you know, devastated. You know, there's 70,000 people on the island, okay? This is a really big deal with this island. And it's gonna we're hitting Puerto Rico Tuesday night and Wednesday. So I'll probably, you know, follow my videos tomorrow night. I'll be doing the same thing, okay? Climate science connections, Twitter, and so on, okay? So let's update, let's have a look at the latest in here. So if I just do a refresh with Maria, the track shifting north and east, okay, you know, hurricanes, this stuff is loading sort of real time, or you can do a refresh and